Today we're going to run through some very basic suspension setups, some do's and don'ts relevant to road bikes and track day bikes. To carry out the sag checks, which is the first and most fundamental thing you need to do, the handiest tool you absolutely need to have is a tape measure. To start off with, we're going to need a couple of people to help lift the rear of the bike. What we need to do is to have two people to actually lift the bike off the ground so I can take a measurement as vertically as possible from the end of the swing arm to a point that I've pre-marked on the tail fairing. Now, if we were going to lift the bike by the subframe, etc., especially on a race bike, there's so much flexibility in those subframes and tail fairings quite often that you can screw the reading up. Okay, we have a measurement here of 650 millimeters, a nice even number, thank goodness, which demonstrates our top out measurement. That's bike fully extended, wheel in the air, the suspension fully open, fully extended. That particular measurement is where we express every other measurement from. The next measurement we take is the static sag measurement, which gives us an idea if it's somewhere in the range. Very important to bounce on the bike to settle it first to make sure it returns, and something I failed to mention previously, that we actually have the bike on a level surface. Our first top out full extension measurement was 650 millimeters. Using exactly the same measuring points, measure the new setting with the bike sitting under its own weight. We have, in this instance, 645 millimeters. So we deduct that from our top out measurement, which means we've got 5 millimeters of static sag. On a bike like this, with an original shock absorber in it, albeit heavily modified, and without an internal topping out spring, between 5 to 10 millimeters is a target measurement we're looking for, so it's somewhere in the window. The next step is to add the rider. You'll notice the third person, dressed in shamrock colours, is holding the front of the bike without putting any weight on it. And it allows Dennis to sit in the race position or his normal riding position. Then if you ask the rider to just bounce on it a couple of times to settle it, and we'll take a third measurement, which will be the rider sag. And again, that is expressed as the difference between the bike fully extended and the rider on board. Same measuring points, same datum marks, and we now have a reading of 628 millimeters, which again we deduct off the top out measurement. So we have 650, which is the fully extended measurement, minus 628. That gives us 22 millimeters. Now on a bike like this, a 600cc class bike, with the rider fully kitted, we would expect to see a rider sag measurement of between 24 to 27 millimeters. That is for track day road race use. For road use, we would expect to see a measurement of between maybe 27 to 35 millimeters. It's as much about personal preference. The numbers are a guideline only, but it gives you a very reasonable starting point.